Welcome to How to Play by Cathouse Gaming, where our goal is to explain the key game mechanics needed to get you and your table mates playing. We know you'd rather be gaming, so let's get started.
Hey guys, today's game is Dokmus. Dokmus is a splendid abstract strategy game with a role selection component and a modular board. The game ends after 8 rounds. Players earn victory points through the discovery of ruins, small red temples, and large yellow temples. Additional points are awarded for discovering all of the temples on a single board, discovering temples on multiple boards, and by having the most sacrificed tokens. The player with the most victory points wins.
Take the square cardboard land tiles and place them in the center of the table. In a 3 or a 4-player game, they're all used and make the shape of the letter O. In a 2-player game, only 5 tiles are used and they form a letter U instead of an O. Each player takes all of the tokens of their chosen color, and the randomly determined star player is given all of the guardian cards. In a 2-player game, the 1st and 5th guardian cards are removed from the game. In reverse player order, each player places their starting token onto the game board. Starting tokens must be placed on the outermost column or row of a corner tile. The start player selects a guardian from the available options and passes the remaining guardian cards to the person on their left. This person also selects and passes the cards. This process continues until all players have a hidden guardian card in front of them. Unselected guardians are placed face down out of the way. Players take their turns in guardian order, beginning with guardian number 1. As each guardian number is called, the player who selected that guardian reveals the guardian and takes their turn at that time. During their turn, the players place 3 of their player tokens and have the option to use the ability of their chosen guardian. These actions can occur in any order, meaning a player could place all of their tokens and then use the guardian action, use the guardian action first and then place their tokens, or place some of their tokens, use the guardian action, and then place their final tokens. Once the player who selected guardian number 1 has completed their turn, the player who selected guardian number 2 reveals their card and takes their turn. Play continues in this manner until all players have revealed their guardian and taken a turn. At this point, all of the guardian cards, including the ones that weren't used this round, are given to the start player. The board is comprised of different types of terrain: large yellow temples, small red temples, and ruins. Each is pretty unique in how player tokens interact with them. Some are free to travel across, some can't be landed upon, some are insurmountable, and others require a sacrifice. All player tokens must be placed orthogonally adjacent to a previously placed token, thus the reason we placed a starting token onto the board. Meadows and mountains are opposites. Player tokens can be placed freely onto meadow spaces, but mountain spaces are impassable. Moving into each new forest costs 1 token. Think of it as entering uncharted territory, and there's a learning curve to being able to navigate it. Once a player's token is within a forest, there's no additional cost to explore. Hot tip: players can slide into the forest using the 3rd guardian action without sacrificing a token. Player tokens can traverse water, but it costs 1 token. Similarly to forests, there's a learning curve to being able to swim. The cost must be paid each time the tokens navigate the waterways. Unlike mountains, volcanoes can be traversed. Players place a token on the volcano space during their turn, which enables them to place subsequent tokens on the far side of the volcano, but at the end of that player's turn, the token is sacrificed and removed from the main board. Tokens cannot be placed on top of temples, but from an adjacency standpoint, discovered temples count as the player's token. This means that if Blue's token has discovered a temple, the orthogonal spaces to the temple are accessible to subsequently placed Blue tokens. Guardian number 1 allows the player to take the start player marker. The player who reveals the first guardian card takes the start player token immediately. In a 3 or 4-player game, the start player marker does not move unless this guardian is selected. In a 2-player game, this guardian is not used. Instead, the marker transfers to the other player at the end of the round. Guardian number 2 allows the player to move a map tile to the open space of the board. Any tile in the same row or column of the open space can be moved into the open space. This means that in a 3 or 4 player game, there are always 4 tiles that can move into the open space, and always 3 in a 2-player game. Guardian number 3 allows the player to move a place token onto an adjacent meadow, forest, volcano, or ruin space. Movement into the forest does not require another token to be sacrificed, and the token can move from one board to the next. This Guardian action does not work on water or mountains. Guardian number 4 allows the player to rotate one tile 90 degrees. This is beneficial for gaining access to another, now adjacent tile. Guardian number 5 allows the player to take one of the previous Guardian actions 2 through 4. So move a tile, move a token, or rotate a tile 90 degrees. This Guardian is not used in a 2-player game. Ruins, in addition to being worth a victory point at game end, enable a bonus action. When a player lands on a ruin, they immediately get to perform an additional Guardian action. The bonus Guardian action is limited to one of the 3 core options, so actions 2 through 4 of moving a tile, moving a token, or rotating a tile 90 degrees. The game ends after the last player has taken their turn in the 8th round. At this point, all players will be out of tokens. Scoring begins immediately, and each player scores points based on the following: 1 point for each discovered ruin, 2 points for every small red temple their token is next to. This is per temple and not per token next to said temple. 3 points for every large yellow temple their token is next to. Again, this is per temple and not per token next to the temple. 8 points per map tile where the player has discovered all of the temples on the tile. Players earn a variable amount of points depending on the total number of map tiles upon which they have discovered temples. Refer to the chart on page 4 of the rulebook for specifics. Lastly, the player or players who sacrifice the most tokens earns additional victory points. Again, refer to the chart on page 4 of the rulebook for specifics.
When placing your first token on the board, try to start near a temple and take a moment to consider your next moves. Try to place where you can rotate or move the tile so that you readily reach another tile or a temple in a subsequent turn. Pay attention to where the mountains are, since they will hinder your movements. Spread out as much as possible. There are a lot of points to be gained from discovering temples on each of the different map tiles, but don't be like me and forget to actually discover a temple on the map. Lastly, sacrifice tokens and discover ruins. Both score endgame victory points while helping you spread out within the territory. That's a wrap. You now know how to play Dokmus. Go forth and may the best explorer win.